Welcome to the weekend edition of National Focus. I'm Kimani Serja. In the headlines, Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit updates the nation on rebuilding efforts and government partners with CARDI to reduce its food import bill. Stay with us for details of these and other stories after this. Thanks for staying with us. The government of Dominica has received a commitment from the Chinese government to finance the reconstruction of the West Coast Road. The Edward Oliver Libla Highway or West Coast Road suffered major infrastructural damage during Tropical Storm Erica. The Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit made the announcement on Friday.
That would include the bridges, and that would include the failures we've seen, the landslides have undermined the roads, and a number of other interventions that will mitigate against the occurrence of this coming to happen. This is a major, in our mind, a major commitment of assistance from a friendly nation, and we're very grateful to the government and people of China for this pledge of commitment to us. And of course, this is good news for all Dominicans. We should be thankful and grateful to the Chinese government.
A commitment to assist with the resettlement of those who were displaced by the tropical storm is also forthcoming from the government of the People's Republic of China.
So these are two critical areas where the Chinese government will be assisting Dominica in its reconstruction and recovery efforts and its commitment to building back better. So I would like to place on public record, on behalf of the government and people of Dominica, our sincerest gratitude to the government and people of China for this generous offer. And I must make mention that this is a grant. It's not a loan from the Chinese government. It's a grant, and it's a gift to us in response to the storm.
The Honorable Prime Minister was speaking at a press conference convened to update the nation on his activities as he continues to solicit assistance to rebuild the country. The nation's leader also informed of an upcoming OECS authority meeting, which will be hosted in Dominica on November 18th and 19th, a development partners conference slated for November 16th, and his recent trip from Southeast Asia.
I must tell you that there are tremendous opportunities for Dominica in Southeast Asia. It is it's an emerging market, huge populations, a wealth of natural resources, and great opportunity for business for Dominica. And the response there was overwhelming, particularly with regards to our citizenship by investment program. As you know, we've had the program since 1993. We continue to promote it. We've made significant changes in the program over the last year, all of which we have enunciated in various budget addresses and statements given by the government from time to time. And people are keen on the product which Dominica is offering, and I believe that in the next 6 to 12 months, 18 months, we will see increased business coming from to the Citizens by Investment program.
GIS will bring you more from this press conference in subsequent newscasts. The government of Dominica is developing partnerships with institutions to assist in the reduction of the country's food import bill. In April of this year, the Director of Agriculture, Ricky Brumant, put forth a proposal to significantly reduce that bill within the next 5 years. The most recent collaboration has been with the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute.
CARDI is presenting us with an interesting opportunity, and it's something that we in the ministry and the division have been looking at towards platforming. We have looked at beans as an important crop for our farm families, but also something that can go on the market as well. We are looking at new opportunities, looking at crops that $1 million, they cost the country over $1 million for importation, and so we are looking towards reducing those things. And red beans is one of such crops. And so we are working with CARDI this time around to establish about 20 acres island-wide. And in my mind, this is very good.
Of just red beans?
Of just red beans. Well, different types of beans, but mostly red beans. The farmers in Salisbury and on the West Coast have done quite a bit of work in establishing beans and have had very good results. We in the ministry have supplied seed material to these farmers, and so we know the potential for red beans.
An increase in the production of sweet corn is also being explored.
We're also looking at establishing about 10 acres of sweet corn with farmers on the West Coast who again have used sweet corn as an important part of the production mix. And so they also realize livelihood, and we well appreciate that there are small people, not people, but people who supply passers-by with a corn, you know, roasted and so on.
Oh yeah, you talk about the roadside vendors.
The roadside vendors on the West Coast.
With their grills.
And with the grills. And so it's an important way to provide them with corn, because a lot of Dominicans appreciate that. But not only that, housewives and people who cook use corn, sweet corn a lot, you know, to give their families.
The Propel project from Canada has also given Dominica assistance with its production of white potato. In October, the project donated 50,000 Canadian dollars worth of elite planting material to the Ministry of Agriculture. With the local production of white potatoes, onions, red beans and other crops, the ministry hopes that Dominicans will spend less for food and enjoy more wholesome meals. As outlined in the Labour Party's 2014 manifesto, government will continue to diversify agricultural produce for local and export markets. Crops such as red beans and onions are not traditionally grown in Dominica, but will lend to the diversification process and will ultimately reduce the food import bill. The Dominica Youth Business Trust and the Youth Division are partnering to host a series of activities in the observance of Global Entrepreneurship Week next week. Global Entrepreneurship Week is an initiative of the Kaufman Foundation and Enterprise UK and is promoted by the Youth Business International Network, of which the Dominica Youth Business Trust is a member. Kerry Ann Remy is coordinator of the Dominica Youth Business Trust.
This is a celebration that focuses on entrepreneurs, those small, large, startup, those who have the idea and thinking of forming a business. It's celebrated within 50 countries across the world. And this year our theme is a celebration of enterprise and entrepreneurial people. Like we know that Erica has affected us, and maybe we're wondering if we can ever get back to where we were. But there's still things that we need to celebrate. There's still things that we should be proud of. And one of them is the enterprises, the local enterprises that we have within the economy, and the persons and people who have that value and that spirit of entrepreneurship that have taken them forward. So this year's theme is fitting, especially after what has happened to us, to celebrate enterprise and entrepreneurial people. We start the week with the minister's address. The minister will officially open the week. And on Tuesday the 17th, we go on to our budding entrepreneurs, like I could say. We need to catch them young. It starts in primary school, it starts in preschool with the JA program, that we need to start building that idea of being our own persons, being entrepreneurs, being small business owners among our young persons. So the 4-H Club has a very big activity on Tuesday. We're having the public speaking and choral speech competition. The young persons who are involved are budding entrepreneurs. They are young persons for the 4-H Club who have been taught the value and the spirit of entrepreneurship and the skills that they need to become entrepreneurs. And one of them that we see is public speaking, being able to go into a forum and speak about your business, pitch your business idea to the credit unions or the bank. And we have that activity which would encourage them and promote those skills among them. That's going to be at the Public Service Union Hall at 9 a.m. on the 17th of November.
Also on the calendar of events is the community outreach program on the 19th and the staff and board games night to close off on the 20th. Remy notes that a special feature of this year's award ceremony will be the Business Plan Innovation Award.
The young persons who have developed their business plan after doing training got the chance to pitch their business plan to a businessman. So we had Mr. Kenny Green who came in and they pitched their business plan to him, and we have selected 6 young persons as winners. The top person gets $5,000 grant funding towards your business, and we have 5 others who get $1,000 grant funding towards the establishment of the business.
The DYBT coordinator also applauded 3 young Dominicans who recently captured awards at the 2015 Caribbean Youth Entrepreneurship Summit in Barbados in September.
Dominica was nominated in 4 categories: startup, technology, environmental business, and mentorship. And we're happy to say that out of the 3 Young Entrepreneurs Awards, that Dominica captured 2 of them in the persons of Grayson John, who trades as Big G. He received the award for startup, and Mr. Elias Dupuy, who trades as 365 MMP, who received the award for technology. Miss Dion Francis was nominated for environment business. She trades on the green thumb seedlings at Corona, and then Mr. Bonti, who is long-time mentor, one of the first mentors that was trained under the DYBT program, and also the deputy chair of the board of DYBT was nominated as mentor. So we have these persons, and we're very proud of their accomplishment over the past few months and the work that they continue to do to expose young persons as very capable persons as entrepreneurs.
Meantime, the Dominica Youth Business Trust has received 5 years unconditional accreditation status from the Youth Business International. That's according to DYBT coordinator Kerry and Remy, speaking at a press briefing on Thursday.
June 8th to the 10th, we went through a process of accreditation to be reassessed by the Youth Business International as an agency capable of facilitating young persons through entrepreneurial training and funding, that we have all the systems in place to make it work as it's supposed to. And we're happy to say that on the 15th of October, we got a response, and we have been reaccredited for 5 years to continue to work as a youth business trust in the Caribbean. So we're really happy for that, and it's part of our celebration as not maybe entrepreneurs or enterprise, but as an institution that facilitates entrepreneurs and enterprises.
She says the DYBT was recognized for their dedication by regional assessors.
The assessors were really impressed by Dominica, and the meetings with the ministers and persons who are directly involved in terms of mentors and staff and our entrepreneurs themselves show them the dedication that we have to making DYBT work for our young person in Dominica to establish a business, and they were really, really impressed by that, and our small staff, our commitment to making it work.
Chief Youth Development Officer John Roach notes that the 5-year accreditation shows the level of commitment by staff of the DYBT.
The first time we had a 3-year accreditation. This time around we got a 5-year accreditation status. And very importantly, it's an unconditional accreditation, which means that you met all the requirements with flying colors. So that's basically, it says something about our small country. We're small, but we do produce quality, and that's what I'm particularly impressed with.
You're watching National Focus. More when we return.
Children, yell and tell. If someone tries to abuse you, tell until someone believes you and they do something about it.
For more information on child abuse or to report suspected cases on child abuse, contact the Social Welfare Division on 33 Great Marlborough Street or call 266-3020 or 266-3080.
Welcome back. President of the Dominica State College, Dr. Donald Peters, says one cannot underestimate the importance of a college to the development of the country. Dr. Peters was addressing a welcome ceremony for Ecuadorian students that will attend the DSC held on November 11th.
This historical event also is a manifestation of the role of the Dominica State College to the nation's economy and the nation's development. And that is exactly the role the National College must play. When Prime Minister Roosevelt Douglas and I conceptualized this institution, this is precisely what we envisage. And I'm very happy that Prime Minister Skerrit had the faith and commitment to this project to make it happen. However, I never imagined that we should grow so quickly. We have done well. And every staff, faculty, administrator, and student should feel proud.
He noted that the 13-year-old college has come a long way from an institution of just 90 students to a college of 801 students, and from offering certificates in cert subjects to a degree-granting institution. The DSC president is proud that in 2014, the DSC graduating students requested 300 transcripts to be sent to international universities, and not one was denied.
We are therefore committed to strengthening our degree programs and degree offerings. We are committed to offer more career programs that can provide competencies that will help students find jobs, like fashion technology, culinary arts, and agribusiness. We are committed to enhancing our physical plan to provide more computer labs and computers, a functional student center for student recreation, and more up-to-date science labs. By improving our ability to attract and retain international students, the college is taking the necessary steps to reduce its dependency on local government. In that respect, we have been proactive, and not only have we sought to increase international students' admissions, but we have entered into partnerships with a number of international universities that will bring new resources and funding to the Dominica State College.
The Dominica State College is presently involved in a number of partnerships with international institutions with the aim of further improving the quality of their service.
We are currently in partnership with Dalhousie University in a program funded by the Canadian Ministry of Foreign Affairs called the CEFE, CARICOM Education for Employment, which has brought an additional $440,000 to State College in terms of resources and training for faculty that will allow them to offer certificate programs in all of the aspects of agribusiness industry in Dominica. We are also in partnership with the College of the Rockies, which also is in Canada, which is creating employment for Dominica, when we're also in partnership with Range Development and Kempinski Hotels International.
In more news, as weather patterns continue to change and small island developing states feel the brunt of climate change, the Division of Agriculture is taking all measures to retool its farmers. A number of workshops and trainings have been held to make farmers more climate smart. Director of Agriculture Ricky Brumant explains the concept.
If we look at greenhouses, where you position your greenhouse is important. Whether it is against the wind or not, whether it is in a floodplain, whether it's close to ravines or the design. And what you put in, the variety, when you put in that variety, how you store water for your crop under the greenhouse. An important decision that leads to very good climate smart action. And so that is one. If you look at livestock designs as regards housing, and you apply the same principles as if you were building your house in terms of the mixture of your concrete, the hurricane ties, the positioning of the livestock unit again, are climate smart activities that farmers can do to ensure that they minimize the risk to damage.
The director notes that although some farmers were better equipped during Tropical Storm Erica, a storm of that magnitude would still be of concern to the agriculture sector.
Tropical Storm Erica was no easy storm. I mean, we must establish that from day one. The level of rainfall that we have had in just a short span of time had been unprecedented, and so you would have had substantial damage. In instances where farmers have been able to mitigate and to put adaptive mechanism in place, there were reduced action. But overall, I believe, given the level of precipitation from Tropical Storm Erica, a lot of those things would have happened. We have to give consideration to our slopes, the nature of our soils, and some of the actions that people have taken over the years in terms of clear felling in some areas, have caused, have predisposed some of our areas for damage by Tropical Storm Erica.
And now for a recap of this week's headline stories, let's join Jana Hector.
Welcome to this week's edition of Flashback. In the headlines this week, Dominicans living in St. Thomas have contributed more than 50,000 EC dollars towards Dominica's Tropical Storm Erica recovery efforts. Diaspora Liaison Officer, who is also chairperson of the Dominica Disaster Relief Committee based in St. Thomas, Lauren Barnes Roberts, says after Tropical Storm Erica, Dominicans living in St. Thomas took immediate action to assist. At the start of this week, the Commonwealth of Dominica observed Remembrance Day, taking time to honor the servicemen and women who died in World Wars I and II and to remember the survivors. 2 minutes of silence was observed in honor of the fallen. As Dominica recovers from Tropical Storm Erica, the young ones are being encouraged to help in the rebuilding process. The Ministry of Education is observing Early Childhood Education Month this November under the theme Rebuilding Dominica Together, beginning with early childhood development. The month's observance began with an address by the Honorable Acting Minister for Education, Kelva Daru. The House of Parliament this week discussed a bill to give the Eastern Caribbean Asset Management Corporation jurisdiction in Dominica. The corporation is meant to regulate and supervise the banking sector of the entire Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. Then Acting Finance Minister and Prime Minister Dr. Colin McIntyre tabled the bill. The MV Mien Shift 3 made its inaugural call to Dominica this week. This is the first of its 11 calls to Dominica for this cruise season. The ship has a passenger capacity of 2,500 and 100 crew. And 34 Ecuadorians became part of the Dominica State College student body. The students were officially welcomed at a ceremony this week at the DSC Auditorium. This is part of a Teach English Caribbean program. These were some of the headline stories making the news this week. For details of each of these stories and others, visit our website or Facebook page. Back to you, Kimani.
Thank you, Jana. Registration is now open for the May-June 2016 Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate or CSEC and CAPE examinations. Private candidates wishing to register for these examinations can now do so at the CXC Local Registrar's Office, Ministry of Education and Human Resource Development, Education, Science and Technology Building, Cornwall Street, Roseau, during normal office hours. Private candidates are required to have their last registration and a pictorial ID for registration. Registration ends on November 30th, 2015. Please be guided accordingly. And that's the English segment of the news. We now join McPherson St.Luce for Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson St.Luce. Premièrement, l'hôpital neuf qui bâti à cette même occasion en Goodwill. Gouvernement Dominica a tapé assistance au People's Republic of China pour bâtir facilité là. Selon le ministre de la Santé, Honorable Dr. Kenneth Darrow, l'argent allocation pour faciliter ça là, pas que dépenser pour bagaille Erica.
L'argent de l'hôpital a commandé à press conference là, ça n'a pas touché, ça c'est parce que ça c'est un cadeau qui nous recevons au gouvernement China. Et nous décidons qu'un gouvernement qui nous continue avec le projet ça parce que c'est important. Plus important because actuellement nous ne pouvons recommander ça strengthen delivery healthcare service à Dominique et nous espérons que l'hôpital neuf là et pas quoi mais avec tout corresponding service monde qui plus train spécialiste avec diagnostic services qui aide nous à même garder ça combattre ça qu'a fait en temps désastre. So comme dit ça c'est un argent qui hors pas qui est cadeau de China. C'est nous qu'à continuer vers nous espérer qu'il y a une année plus une année ça là si l'année là ouvert qui nous qui groundbreaking ceremony pour l'hôpital neuf là.
En autre nouvelle, DYBT, ça c'est Dominica Youth Business Trust, tapé accréditation pour l'autre 5 l'année. Bon, nouvelle ça là, vous voyez, et puis bon tien, M. John Rhodes, c'est chef officier GIS Dominica.
Réaccréditation Dominica Youth Business Trust, c'est bonne nouvelle pour Dominique, c'est bonne nouvelle pour jeune monde Dominique qui est en business. Parce que en 2008, Dominica Youth Business Trust venu en membre Youth Business International qui est en Angleterre. Et en 2012, nous tapons la première accréditation, c'était pour 3 années. Et après 3 années, nous avons réassessé pour essayer de faire ça aussi pour faire. Et en 2015, nous avons réassessé encore. Avec tout ça, Youth Business International était bien content pour le travail que nous avons fait à Dominique, le travail que nous avons fait en l'Est caribéen pour enlever l'Est programme en Caribéen. Nous passons l'accréditation et avec tout ça, nous avons 5 années pour continuer le travail que nous avons fait. Ça, c'est bonne nouvelle pour nous, Dominique. Et ça qui encourage Dominique Youth Business Trust pour continuer à faire un travail que nous avons fait avec les jeunes businessmen à Dominique.
Roach fait parole comment vous êtes très excité pour le développement de là.
Oui, moi bien content parce que la première accréditation, c'était moi qui étais chef du YBT l'ESA. Et après ça, moi qui étais du YBT pour venir chef Youth Division. Et mon style continue à support pour Dominica Youth Business Trust pour make sure que nous pas perdre l'accréditation. Parce que si vous perdez l'accréditation, il faut pour 2 années plus encore pour vivre taper l'accréditation. C'est quelque chose qui est bien important pour nous. Et je suis bien content de célébrer avec DYBT.
En la nouvelle, le département pêcheur Dominique est tapé assistance hors allocation l'argent que le ministre Agriculture reçoit hors FAO. Parole là sur le permanent secrétaire ministre Agriculture Harold Gist. FAO fait allocation $300,000 US pour le ministre Agriculture après Erika.
Ce secteur pêcheur, nous avons occupé ça aussi. Secteur pêcheur souffre presque en haut 3 000 millions de dollars. Dommage. Moun perd Monterio, moun perd Canot, moun perd Kay Canot yo, moun perd Pache bagay, Sen yo, Ling, tout bagay. Comme ça, moun qui perd ces bagay ça là, nous entraînons pour organiser, pour nous avoir assistance, l'argent qui est venu. Avec, mais il n'y a pas de qui a organisé quoi yo. Nous bien contents pour ça parce qu'il fait il n'y a pas assez de personnes pour venir parce qu'il fait il recogniser il y a l'eau pour faire un pays là avec yo même ça c'est ça qui lave yo comme ça il y a pas yo ban il y a l'eau qui a vivre qui pêcher ça quand a été dommagé yo arrangé yo pièce avec monde qui perd ligne avec ça faute pour gagner ligne gagner yo fait ça déjà yo a pêché.
Et puis finalement le ministre agriculture a pêché pour au Canada pour production patate blanc et puis zoyon. Si le directeur agriculture Rick Brumant, ministre là déjà ordre ce plan là dans notre pays.
Propel c'est un projet qui le gouvernement canadien a supporté. Il a supporté Dawe qui ça y a couillé high valued Dawe. So en Dominique nous travaillons avec patate anglais avec zoyon. L'année ça là y a aussi pour gagner ces plants patate là pour graines patate là pour planter. Nous ja paye pour ça Holland avec nous ka taper ça à décembre farmers planter un sous pays là avec notre pays là c'est place là yo ka planter patate anglais nous ni information que tu déjà yo ja mettez pour dire combien patates anglais vous voulez planter, so nous liste ça, so nous qui travaillons avec vous pour faire ça 1000 sacs gwen là nous taper qui aller pour you planter à décembre janvier.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle créole pour à présent. Non moins c'est McPherson St.Luce. Et bon week-end. Au revoir.
Coming up next, your tip of the day. A lack of organization in your home can cause an unending overall sense of stress because you're lacking a certain amount of order in your life. It also causes unsightly clutter and makes it hard to find things. Here is a tip on how you can organize your space. Start small. It's important to set small goals for yourself, room by room, throughout your house. When you focus on everything as a whole, it can get so crazy that it might just seem like a lost cause. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow us on Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Kimani. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.